I was sitting in my small Brooklyn apartment, scrolling through bridal dresses online, when I called my mom to share how happy I was for my sister, Chloe. "Mom," I said, smiling through the phone, "I can't wait for Chloe's wedding. I already found a dress that'll match her color theme perfectly." There was silence on the other end. Then Mom sighed. "Sweetheart, maybe you shouldn't buy that dress." "Why not?" I laughed. "You know Chloe will freak out if I show up looking better than her." She hesitated again. And then she said the words that froze me. "Because you're not invited, Emma." I thought she was joking. I actually laughed. "Wait, what?" But Mom didn't laugh. "Chloe doesn't feel comfortable with you there. It's complicated." "Complicated?" I repeated, my chest tightening. "She's my sister. How could it be complicated?" Mom sighed again. "It's not my decision. Please, Emma, don't make this harder." I hung up before I said something I'd regret. My hands were shaking. I stared at the phone in disbelief, trying to process what just happened. 2 years earlier, my life had looked completely different. I was engaged to a man named Ryan. He was charming, ambitious, and my sister's college friend. Chloe had introduced us at one of her parties. I should have known back then that their friendship was a little too close, but I ignored it. Then, 3 months before our wedding, everything fell apart. One night, Ryan came home smelling of Chloe's perfume. I confronted him, and after hours of denial, he broke down and admitted it. They had slept together. I remember screaming, crying, throwing my engagement ring at him. The next day, I confronted Chloe. She didn't even deny it. "It was a mistake," she said, crying. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Em." But the damage was done. I ended the engagement, and our family was torn apart. Mom sided with Chloe, saying, "She's your sister, Emma. You have to forgive her." I tried. I really did. But how do you forgive betrayal from the 2 people you trusted most? In the months that followed, I spiraled. I started drinking too much, missed work, and said some awful things during family gatherings. Things I wish I could take back. At one point, I even told Chloe that I hoped Ryan would cheat on her too. It was cruel, but I was drowning in pain. Eventually, I moved out of state for a while, trying to rebuild myself. I started therapy, stopped drinking, and learned to let go of the bitterness. By the time I came back to New York, I was ready to make peace. I reached out to Mom and even texted Chloe, telling her I missed her. She never replied, but I thought maybe with time things would heal. That's why the wedding news had excited me. I saw it as a new start, a chance to be sisters again. But hearing I wasn't invited shattered me all over again. 2 days later, I called my cousin Lila, hoping she'd tell me it was a misunderstanding. She hesitated before whispering, "Emma, it's not just about the past. Chloe told everyone you'd cause drama if you came. She said you might ruin her wedding." "Ruin it?" I asked, stunned. "Why would I do that?" "She told people you still have feelings for Ryan," Lila said quietly. I felt sick. It wasn't true. I hadn't seen or spoken to Ryan in years. But Chloe had twisted the story to make me look unstable. That's when I decided I wasn't going to let her destroy my name again. On the day of her wedding, I didn't crash the event. I did something smarter. I posted a heartfelt video online. It wasn't revenge through chaos. It was truth through calm. I spoke about forgiveness, about being blamed for things you didn't do, about being painted as the villain just because you refused to keep quiet. I never mentioned Chloe's name, but everyone who knew our story understood. The video went viral in our small community. Even our family friends shared it, praising how much I'd grown and how gracefully I'd handled my pain. A week later, Mom showed up at my apartment. She looked tired, her eyes puffy. "Your video, it made me cry," she said. "You didn't deserve what happened. And you didn't deserve to be excluded." Then she told me something that stunned me. Ryan had cheated on Chloe too, just months before their wedding. But instead of canceling it, she'd begged him to stay, afraid of the embarrassment. I didn't feel joy hearing that, just pity. A month later, Chloe reached out. She didn't apologize, not really, but she asked if we could talk someday. I agreed. Not for her, but for myself. When we finally met, she cried and said, I just wanted one day where I didn't feel like the bad guy. I told her softly, "You could have had that if you'd let me be there." Today, I'm still not close with my family, but I'm at peace. Sometimes revenge doesn't mean ruining someone's big day. It means letting them see that you've become everything they said you couldn't be. I didn't need an invitation to her wedding to prove my worth. Their lies broke me once. But healing, that was my real revenge. Moral of the story: sometimes, family will rewrite your pain to make themselves look innocent. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from their control. Revenge isn't always about hurting back. It's about healing stronger. When people shut you out, remember, peace is the loudest comeback. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life stories that touch the heart.